beautiful people of the internet, how are you guys doing today? Hopefully great, and welcome to Budget Builds, where we use zero Forma and achieve maximum efficiency. In today's video, we're taking a closer look at Gauss, aka the speed demon of Warframe. And yes, he's a lot quicker than Bolt, but with a twist. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys would like to support me or the channel any further, remember to leave a like, as it does help out the algorithm and also helps me out a ton. And also, don't forget to Spartan click the subscribe button for more Warframe videos and streams. Without further ado, let's get this one on the road, shall we? Okay, so we're going to be starting off with the build for Gauss. As you guys can see, we don't have any Forma because that's how we like to roll when it comes to an episode of Budget Builds. So one thing I do want to say is, if you guys are going to be prioritizing on Gauss's speed, which is called Mach Rush, you basically do not want to add any power strength whatsoever, as it doesn't actually scale with power strength. Instead, it scales off of the amount of total sprint speed you have. In other words, you guys want to go and add mods such as sprint boost, rush, coaction drift, and speed drift in order to make sure that he does go and run fast as humanly possible. Now, you guys are probably taking a look at my stats and are wondering, but Yigit, you said that he shouldn't be, you shouldn't add power strength to his mods because, it'll be a waste. That is true. However, here's the twist. So what I've done is essentially I've replaced Gauss's third ability with Saren's Molt. You guys didn't know, when Saren got reworked, she actually did get an increase to her sprint speed if you guys do activate Molt. By doing so, the same can be said with Gauss, and as you guys can see, once the buff has been activated, we're then going to be getting an even more speed multiplier. And yes, the speed multiplier does scale off of power strength. This plus Gauss's Mach speed, let me tell you, you guys are going to be traveling so fast that you probably will go back in time in Warframe. In fact, you might go back in time to 2015 or 2014, where you still had the raids of Warframe. You guys didn't know, this was an amazing 8-man player experience, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about our speed boy. So as for power strength mods, here's what we've got: Auger secrets and also energy conversion. Therefore, we've got even more power strength, because remember, the more power strength we have, the greater or the more effective Molt will currently be. We also have armored agility for even more sprint speed. Now, we also want to add narrow-minded and continuity. The main reason for this is purely because of the fact that Molt has a very different timer to the way it actually works. So the way that Molt usually works is you're supposed to actually go and shed your skin. That skin will then act as a decoy. On top of that decoy, you'll then have enough time to go and get yourself out of that particular situation. However, the speed buff is only for like 10 seconds, and you have to go and add a ton of duration. And I figured, you know what, you might as well go and refresh this, and you might as well have your initial sprint boost. It's not perfect, but hey, more speed is still better than nothing. As remember, more power strength equals much faster run times. And that's really about it. We also want to go and add a flow as well. Therefore, we have a much higher or much better energy. Therefore, we can actually be running for longer distances. And of course, continuity will also allow us to not only have our Molt buff faster, but also it'll allow us to actually have a lot less strain. You guys didn't know, Mach Rush is not based off of a timer just like our Volt speed is. It's actually based off of an exalted based ability. So therefore, you're going to have a certain amount of energy, and therefore that energy pool will then have a drain per second, just like every other exalted based ability, except this one isn't really for attacking. It's more for like memeing around. Now, as for the arcanes department, well, ladies and gentlemen, we are taking full advantage of an arcane called Phantasm, which basically gives us even more movement speed if we do go and block. On top of that, we are then going to be taking full advantage of Molt Vigor. You guys didn't know, if we go and activate an operator ability, we'll then get even more power strength. Remember, the more power strength we have, the more effective our Molt will be. Because remember, this particular ability does scale off of the amount of power strength we currently have. Oh no, we're not done yet. We still got a whole bunch of other buffs that we need to go over, and that is, we can actually go and push Gauss even further, just like how Goku was able to go and hit Super Saiyan 3 in the Majin Buu saga. Now, for our weapon, we are going to be using the Dex Cerberus, and this is not really important. You just need to have a weapon. We're just going to be using this weapon as a vessel to go and hold a mod called Amalgam Serration. As you guys can tell by the description, it gives us 25% additional sprint speed. But wait, there's more. So our secondary weapon is going to be a kit gun. The name doesn't really matter. The most important thing is that it is a kit gun. And one thing we need to do is that we need to go and put an arcane called Pax Bolt. And as per description, if we do get ourselves a headshot kill, not only will we be able to go and get ourselves an ability efficiency of 30%, but on top of that, we are going to be getting an additional 30% power strength on our next ability for 4 seconds. Now, one thing I do want to say is with this particular build, it's not viable, as not only are you going to have a small window to go and access, have everything set up, but also it is quite a pain, as there's so many buffs that we actually need to go and apply before we actually go and use Molt. Next up is we do have the Predator. So I'm going to refer to this weapon as the Pringo, as that weapon or that name is actually pretty hard to go and pronounce. So as you guys can tell, we have all the skill nodes, and the most important one is this one right here called Evolution 2, named Drifting Grace. And as per title, while this weapon's Incarnate mode is activated, we will be getting an additional 20% sprint speed. And on top of that, we are going to be using Madurai, particularly a node called Sling Strength. And as per description, basically if you go and chain your dash and then head back into a Warframe, you'll then be getting an additional 40% power strength. Yes, that is right, ladies and gentlemen, there is so much setting up to do with this particular loadout. So basically what I did is I just went and wrote some stuff down on the paper to remember exactly, as there's just too many things to go and do. And like I said, in order to make sure that conditions are perfect, we need to actually go and remember all the buffs that we need to go and activate. So ladies and gentlemen, as you guys can tell, we're currently in All Valors, and I'm going to do my utmost best to try and go and buff ourselves, as there's quite a few things to actually go and remember. So what I like to do is I like to head inside here, because there's always guaranteed energy orbs, and always I like to go and tank or block every single shot. Sometimes that turret does actually go and start shooting at you, sometimes it doesn't, but what I like to do is just sit here and max out until we have a 5 times critical damage. And also I like to kill the annoying enemies, because they're very, very, very annoying, so bear with me. Okay, so we got our 5 times. We're gonna do our heavy attack, go into operator, dash dash, activate our 1, and I think now we just need to do a headshot with the thingy weapon. Okay, as you guys can see, let's do this. So we're currently moving fast. Now watch this. And as you guys can see, Gauss is insanely fast. One downside I do want to say with Gauss, with this build, is that sometimes, because of the way Saren's Molt works, is it only works for like a couple of seconds and then it'll like disappear, but you can just recast it, and you guys can actually tell that we are still running at relatively fast speed. And the nice thing is, with Gauss, you don't even have to like hold down the button for that long. You don't have to hold down forever, maybe like a couple of seconds, and then he'll just run automatically himself. And the bad thing is that it's actually really difficult to control. It feels like a drag car. And of course, if you guys do run into all these buildings, then it's just going to start stopping the sprint speed and all that good stuff. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today's video. If this video has helped you guys out in any way or form, remember to leave a like, and also don't forget to spark and click the subscribe button for more Warframe videos and streams. I make like a banana and split.